everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Clear Point Podcast with me, Randy Prizzle. How you guys all doing out there? Everything good, Shway, crispy, irie, and let's get straight onto it. Hope you guys have had a good weekend, should say. Week is obviously now here. But let me stop waffling on. I know the intro is long. We got a lot to get through in this episode. We're going to touch on a lot of stuff. But let's get on to what we usually start off with some random questions. So let's get into the first lot. What is your Wi-Fi password? Now, I'm not going to reveal that. There's no way I'm fucking telling you my Wi-Fi password. For what reasons? You'll steal my internet? Do you know what I mean? And then my internet buffers even more. I even got shit internet now. So I'm not going to give that out and make my internet connection even more worse so you can forget about it. Fuck off with that one. We move on to the next one. Why is it that round pizzas come in a square box? I don't know. That's a good question, to be honest. But I guess a square box is easier to make than a rounder one. I'm just saying it as it is, because rounds one takes a lot of time. With a square one, it's like, you know what I mean? It's doing the transformer stuff. It's easy, you know what I mean? It's not no complicated thing. It's getting done in an instant, and then your pizza's getting put in. So I guess that's why, because a square box is easier than a round box. Do you know what I mean? Who wants to do all that, trying to sort everything out in a round way to sort a box out? That's long, completely long. The next one. Where was the most embarrassing place you have ever farted? Oh, damn. I think it was in a supermarket. Now, I did it obviously because I had to do it. There was no way I was holding on to it. My stomach was doing a lot of the rumblings. I said, you know what? I'm going to have to let it out here. Unfortunately, I had to let it go like the Passenger song. Gotta let it go. Whoa, 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 whoa. So it had to come out. Do you know what I mean? Fortunately, there was only a couple of people on the aisle where I was. And I think it generally was like the tin section where people are getting their tin foods and that. So obviously it's not going to pollute the food. Do you know what I mean? My fart's not a strong way of probably do them things. It's a bit pongy at times. But obviously when I've had quite a lot of meats and that. But it's not something that's going to make people pass out like the Tiny Temper song. Do you know what I mean? You're bringing the stars out. We're bringing the women and the cards out. Let's have a toast celebration, get a glass out. And we could do this until we pass out. No one is passing out from my fart. I generally don't think they will be. I mean, obviously, as I said, when the meats come to play, that's when there's problems. Do you know what I mean? That's when it probably will slay. That's when it'll probably be a different day. It won't be a new day like the WWE man them. It will be a very, very bad day. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't a good day like Ice Cube. It will be a horrible day. But anyways, that's all I'm saying there. It wasn't a shopping centre. It was what it was. We move on to the next one. Has someone caught you dancing in front of the mirror? No. I think I usually, if I do dance, I dance generally in front of people. I dance in raves. I dance sometimes in the bath, which is mad because the bath could be mad slippy. But sometimes you do a little two-step when you're in the dance. You're feeling the tunes because obviously I like to dance. And I like to listen to music sometimes when in the bath. So I'll do a little two-step. Not so much going to make, and then, do you know what I mean? It's all over the place. Head bust open. It's hospital settings afterwards. Do you know? I don't want that. Do you know what I mean? So it's a little shimmy, a little, you know, a little, yeah, all of that. Nothing too much, nothing too intense. You know, you don't want to start trying to break dance. You're definitely going sliding afterwards. Do you know what I mean? You're definitely breaking something. So you don't want to be doing that. But anyways, if I will fail a driver's test, in which part would I fail? For me, it's always the theory for me. I've done driving tests before and I've done the driving, but I think theory is the one that's problematic for me. I'm definitely more of a practical person. I think the hardest thing for me in terms of obviously when I was doing driving and stuff, I think the reverse 3-point turns and that, those were the ones that are a bit, problematic. But parking, not so much, but I think when you're trying to get into a gap where there's obviously a little spot and you're trying to fit the car in between two cars and get it into that spot, that's when there's a bit of problems there. So I'd say that one. All right, the final one we'll come to Have you ever tried talking to your dog? I don't have a dog, so I don't want to talk to a dog. Man's not Dr. Doolittle out here, do you know what I mean? Doing the woof woof, do you know what I mean? All of that. Cherry chapter to my man, then with all the dogs, do you know what I mean? Because literally it's like the bar harmon. Oh, let the dogs out. Oh, 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 oh. So, you know what I mean? Big up the dogs then. So, last one we'll come to. What would you do if you could live forever? Bruh, that's a mad one. Do you know what I mean? It's vampire settings out here. The Vampire Diaries and that. Do you know what I mean? Might as well call me Damon, the Black Damon and that. It'd be mad. I'll just be doing the madness, I think. Do you know what I mean? You'll have to take over the world like Pinky and the Brain. Do you know what I mean? Pinky and the Brain. Pinky and the Brain. One is a genius, the other's insane. Bro, you could just go anywhere. Do anything. Like, if you're living forever, you're going to take over businesses. You just take over, you'll be rich. Do you know what I mean? And that's how it is. You will find a way to be rich. You would have learned so much that you would have accomplished a lot to make yourself, put yourself in a position where you're going to be rich. Do you know what I mean? Even be a bank robber, but they ain't stopping you. Do you know what I mean? You're indestructible. Do you know what I mean? So, like the Kelly Rowland song with Tiny Temper, invincible, invincible. Do you know what I mean? Literally, they can't stop you and all of that. But that's that, and that's that for the random questions. We're gonna move on, guys. We're gonna move on. But what are your thoughts, guys, on the random questions? You can put your comments below on that one, or you can keep them to yourself. Now we're gonna touch on a subject that had some people talking, and generally, that's obviously shits and gigs. So obviously, there's been a backlash to Shits and Gigs because Shits and Gigs podcast, they basically were talking about these Atlanta people in Atlanta, the Atlanta females, and they said they don't have a high amount of baddies in that. And Atlanta people came at them pretty hard, do you know what I mean? And were cussing them out. You know what I mean? I think personally, it is what it is. Listen, their opinion is their opinion. Why do most people give a shit about other people's opinion? Why do you care? If he said that, why do you care? Well, why is it a problem that you care about his opinions? But there was something else I think that was said, and people brought up past videos of them of when they made discussions about black females. Well, let's say in context of James's experiences. James is the light-skinned guy, okay, mixed race guy, I should say. Excuse me for saying like light race, all of that. But yeah, his experiences when he was dealing with, let's say, black females in that vicinity, in that space of time, when they were very rude to him and very disrespectful to him. So obviously, I think it's one of them things where if a man sees a buff girl and he wants to go and talk to that buff girl, and he's going to holler at the buff girl, and he's saying to her all sorts of things to try and woo her, and this girl says, sorry, I'm not interested. The guy gets offended, and when he gets offended, he'll say stupid stuff like, oh, well, you're not buff anyway, you're not hot. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's a case of context where he said something where they were kind of bullying him, these females, and obviously they all happen to be black, you know what I mean, females. And obviously his comments were like, well, yeah, I mean, they were all clapped anyway, so I didn't care. Do you know what I mean? I think obviously the context could be taken out of a different space where people could look at it and say, oh, he's cussing all black females. No, he's not. He's cussing the ones that were there in that vicinity. Obviously the comment was probably a bit of a reactionary comment, let's call it that. But it's not something where people would decide to cancel a man for them reasons alone. I think it's just a bit too far. Like, you're trying to cancel someone for their own thoughts and their opinions on those specific type of girls. Those girls, not all black women, those girls. So some people taking it way too far, way too serious, cancelling this, that, and it's like, and then the woman that put her stuff out about all this clout nonsense, just gaining her clout, there's all this rubbish about cussing them out, and I was like, grow up, some of you. Do you know what I mean? Like, just let it go and move on. Do you know what I mean? Like the Tayo Cruz song, I can't wait till you're gone away, then I can move on, wait till you are gone. Like, it's not a big deal, man. Like, people are just taking little things and things that are out of context and trying to make them a big thing. And that's what it is. Listen, they said what they said about women in Atlanta, and these women in Atlanta have taken it far. But why do you care? If you're a baddie, why are you that offended? If you're hot and you know you're buff, why are you that offended? Because if they said that, then why do you care? Why do you care what they think? You know what I mean? Is it because they're just in a position now where they've got so much people watching them that you suddenly give a shit what they think? Why the fuck do you care? Why has that got to offend you? If they ain't really discussing you if you're a baddie, then why do you care? Like, to be honest, it's an opinion. If he has an opinion on something, that's his opinion. Why do you give a fuck about his opinion? I just don't understand that. It's like, what? So, would people want to cancel these guys for their opinions and their reasons as to what they think and their whole thoughts on it? It's like, come on, man. Like, look at everything in context. Don't see just one side. And the cancel culture in here and this generation of people that just want to go, yeah, get rid of them. They said this, and like, fuck them, cancel them. Like, shut up, man. Come on, man. Like, let's look beyond all this bullshit and see the fucking sky clearly. It's getting me confused my words now. See the sky clearly now. Stop all this nonsense, man. Let's move the fuck on. I'm done with that now. Let's move on from that. But yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on what ShxtsNGigs said? Have you seen it? Do you care about it? If you do, what are your thoughts on what I thought about it? Some of you probably will come for me. That's fine. Say what you want. It won't change my mind. I feel the same about you. All of that. Do you know what I mean? You can put your comments below. You can keep it to yourself. Listen, I say what I say and I say how I feel. You know what I mean? I'm just calling a spade a spade. If I have to call it, I call it. Do you know what I mean? This is not nothing that I'm trying to gain clout for. I'm not trying to cuss people out or trying to... If obviously people do stupid things, I'm going to call you out for doing something stupid. It's as simple as that. But let's move the fuck on. Do you know what I mean? We're going to come now to talk about Swarm. Now, obviously, I've seen Swarm is a bit of a mad program still. So this is available, obviously, on the Prime. So people can go and check that out. Not Optimus Prime, obviously the Amazon Prime thing. So you can go and check that out. Swarm, insane. Do you know what I mean? The girl who plays the lead, as I said, don't know her name, but big her up. Do you know what I mean? She did a mad job. Do you know what I mean? Playing a convincing mad woman. Do you know what I mean? And people who don't know what the context of it all is basically she plays a fan of this main superstar female who is big. You know what I mean? You could say Beyonce levels. I think it's generally based on like the Beehives and the Beyoncés and all of that. So she's on the same kind of star power level as Beyonce, you know, worldwide, global domination, all that sort of thing. And she becomes an obsessed fan. You know what I mean? From the ages, I think, of like when she was a young teen, you could say, or even younger than that. You know what I mean? She's become a fan and she's become obsessed with her music and her lifestyle and what she does. And so if anyone kind of says bad things about her, there'd be consequences. And there'd be real consequences. She's a serial killer. That's all I'm saying it in a nutshell. She's mad. She's insane. She's out of her way. She's a Looney Tune. She's probably even worse that she don't do the comedy jokes. So the Looney Tune, you laugh at Looney Tune. But this was just downright, absolutely obscene. A bunch of mad cluster fuck. That's what I'd call it. It was insane. And it's left me to the point where I'm like, bro, I don't want to be around females that are too obsessed with going to see one specific artist. I have red flags now about that because that there is fucked what I saw. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if I get myself involved in these situations where a gal, yeah, is going to be so obsessed with an artist. And I just say, well, my favourite artist is Kano. Well, Kano can't compare to, you know, fucking Beyonce. Or Kano can't compare to Nicki Minaj. Or Kano can't compare to Cardi B. Or Kano can't compare. I'm like, bruh, leave me the fuck out of this. Do you know what I mean? Certain people need to be avoided. Do you know what I mean? And that for me is now a red flag. Because watching that Swarm program made me realise I don't want to fuck with any of these females that are super fans of any super females that are on the big stage, and they're talking about them like in a manner where it's just like clouds and fucking roses. Do you know what I mean? They're just all in. Yeah, they're talking about all that. They're talking about their lifestyle. They're obsessed on the phone, checking everything they're doing. Fuck that. You know what I mean? That's what got me into saying, no, I'm not into that. I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to get myself involved in that bullshit. Do you know what I mean? Fuck that. Do you know what I mean? That program was mad. It was crazy. It was insane. Very good in terms of obviously the thriller, psychological, all of that drama stuff. But the brutality, on point. I love brutal stuff. People say, fuck, brutal thing you're talking about. I'm talking about in the terms of where it needs to be. Program, TV series, movies. That's where I like the drama and the action. I'm not someone who could say, cool, let's have the nowadays violence live. No, forget that. Bruh, no, it doesn't need to be live. So in terms of where, in a cinematic perspective, it's done its job. It left me on the edge of my seat. I was thinking, what the fuck is wrong with this woman? She's absolutely batshit crazy, going around there killing people just because they don't respect your eyes or like your eyes. You were insane. You were fucked in the brain. Insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain. That's what she is. Listen, people say, yeah, Randy, you're crazy. I'm a bit crazy. It's like the SEAL stuff. Oh, you're never gonna survive unless you're a little crazy. Hey, I can be a bit loopy. Probably no one's ever going to watch this episode. I'll probably get one person who watches this and they'll be like, well, Randy, you're just talking to one person. But at least it's just one person I'm aiming this out there to. If it's just not one person, then I'm really have to reevaluate myself. Lock me in a psych ward. Then throw away the fucking key. Don't let me out. Do you know what I mean? Don't let me out. It's the reverse Akon song. They won't let me out. Lock me up. They won't let me out. No, they won't let me out. Don't let me out. Do you know what I mean? So I'm gonna be a menace to society, like the comedy film with the Wayans and that. Do you know what I mean? Don't let me out. So, anyways, Swarm was crazy and it was mad. And as I said, I have red flags on gal them that are too obsessed with one specific artist and wanting to go to all these concerts and do it. That's a red flag for me. And that's all I got to say on that. But it was very good in terms of obviously selling of the drama, the whole action. As I said, the lead female who did her thing, she was great. Do you know what I mean? Give her big props for that. But I would never be anywhere near a psycho bitch like that. Fuck that. Do you know what I mean? Fuck that. I would give it a solid 8 out of 10 for me, for Swarm. I know that was last year, so you're checking, watching last year's fucking TV series and talking about, no, this is what I would do. I'm a late man. I told you, I'm late to the party. This is what it is. Do you know what I mean? When I arrive in probably an hour or 2 hours late, you know what I mean, when the party's already started. I don't usually, but you know, in terms of when I'm trying to reference it to this, that's what I'm talking about here. But anyways, Swarm, what do you guys think of Swarm? If you've seen it last year, obviously when it did come out, put your comments below on that one. Keep it to yourself. It is available on Prime, so it's still there. You can go and check it out if you want to. And let's move fuck on. We're going to talk now Man City and their 115 charges. It's today. Yeah. Hopefully the verdict has come out and these men are getting touched in terms of where they're getting fucked. You know what I mean? The points are getting deducted and they're getting relegated. Do you know what I mean? Because they're a cheat and they're a disgrace and they need to get relegated. Do you know what I mean, Man City? You know what I mean? You cheated your way for too long. Yeah? I don't have sympathy for these cunts. Yeah? Fuck you. Do you know what I mean? Out here parading and doing all the best in the world bullshit like CM Punk. Yeah? The fuck out of there. Do you know what I mean? Pep, retire. You know what I mean? Leave Man City. Get out of there. You bald prick. Do you know what I mean? As much as you're a great manager, you fucked this league. Yeah? You're winning too much now. I'm done with you. Yeah, at first when you did that to Man United back in the first time when you won the trophy, I was all happy for City. Well done and all that. 2 years in a row, okay, cool, fair enough. 3, you're starting to take the piss now. Now it's 4, and now it's potentially going to be 5. Fuck off. Do you know what I mean? Get the fuck out of there. Do you know what I mean? Leave, Pep. Leave, like the JoJo song. Get out right now. It's the end of you and City. I hope it is. Too late. I can't wait for you to be gone. Oh, get out. Pep, leave. Just walk away like Craig David. I'm walking away from City in his life. He's walking away. Yeah, yeah. Oh, to find a better day. He's walking away. And that's what I want Pep to do. Just leave. Get the fuck out of there. Do you know what I mean? So, but it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them things. You say, Randy, you probably have to be a bit patient. Right? I don't know how patient I can be. I want these men gone. I want them to be relegated. Man City are coming in like they're untouchables. Do you know what I mean? Like the flipping song by flipping DMX and that. Do you know what I mean? I keep my song in my soul, bless my heart and made it gold. Of thy head the tips of our toes, we're untouchable. No, you're not now. Hit them with them charges, like you did to Leicester, like you did to Everton, like you did to other teams. Hit these man them in their pockets, get them relegated to Division 1. I want them back in where they were, main road settings. Get back down there. Do you know what I mean? Send them down. You know what I mean? I'm done with them. Fuck them. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying there. Get out of here. You know what I mean? Have the blue sky or the blue whatever moon down there in Division 1. You know what I mean? Get out of here, City. You've done enough. Piss off. But anyways, let's move on from them and let's touch on the rest of the Premier League. So we're going to come on to obviously... But before that, what are you guys' thoughts on City? What do you think? Do they deserve these charges? Do they deserve to get relegated? You can put your comments below or you can keep them to yourself. And cool. With that one, we're going to move forward now to touch on the rest of the Premier League's matches from match day 4. So, I'm going to do the voice as usual, so let's get on to that voice. Match day 4, Premier League. Wee, 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 wee. Southampton 0, Man United 3. Liverpool 0, Nottingham Forest 1. Man City 2, Brentford 1. Fulham 1, West Ham 1. Crystal Palace 2, Leicester City 2. Brighton 0, Ipswich Town 0. Aston Villa 3, Everton 2. Bournemouth 0, Chelsea 1. Tottenham Hotspur 0, Arsenal 1. Yes! Wolves 1, Newcastle 2. So obviously, you know, I'm trying to scroll. There we go. Yes. Southampton obviously losing, 3-0 to United. Good result for Man United. Man United went in that game, obviously, until 30 minutes, until it all changed and turned around. You know what I mean? For them, like, some got to turn around. Bing, 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 bing. Hey, what's wrong with you? Because Ten Hag, probably on his way to getting sacked. You know what I mean? That Cameron Archboy scored the penalty. Everything was changing. Like the, Paloma Faith song. Everything's changing. I've been gone for too long. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Liverpool losing 1-0 to Nottingham Forest. We didn't see that coming. That one was a bit of a shocker. I'm not going to lie to you lot. You know what I mean? But big up to Nottingham Forest for doing what they did. Do you know what I mean? Big up to them, because that's a difficult place to go and win. And they ain't done it since like flipping 50 years or something. That's mad. Do you know what I mean? To do that there at Anfield, big boy Liverpool, do you know what I mean? That there deserves a medal. Do you know what I mean? So big up to them. You know what I mean? They deserve that fully. 100%. Cool. Phone started to act a bit funny now. I decided to do this. Pussy phone. Come on, man. For fuck's sake. Alright, here we go. Man City, 2-1 winners. Listen, stand as usual for City. Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch the game, but I think, you can see Haaland obviously again getting himself amongst the goals as well. So it's one of them things, innit? Stop the charges setting. These men get relegated. Fuck off, City. Fuck you. But anyways, Fulham 1-1 with West Ham. Listen, late goal was scored. by Danny Ings to restore the order and keep it a draw between the two. Missed opportunity for Fulham though at home, but good away point for West Ham. Crystal Palace 2, Leicester City 2. You know what I mean? Vardy again getting a goal, but turned around by Palace. You know what I mean? Mateta getting the 2 goals to bring Palace back from the brink of a defeat. Brighton 0, Ipswich Town 0. Ball draw game. You know what I mean? Didn't watch it, but I probably predicted maybe what might have been Brighton, maybe probably more on the attack, and couldn't break Ipswich Town down. Aston Villa 3-2, Everton were 2-0 up and they blew it. Everton, it's not looking great for them at all. Do you know what I mean? All over the place at this point in time, Everton. You know what I mean? They started off 2-0, thinking they were going to go cruising like Will Smith, just cruising. It ended up not being that. They were down a sinking ship very fast when Villa sunk them. Do you know what I mean? Brilliant strike as well, you got to say, by Duran. Banger of a goal. Big him up for that one. That was an absolutely epic strike by him. Do you know what I mean? Chelsea as well, winning 1-0 against Bournemouth. You know what I mean? Late goal by Nkunku. Do you know what I mean? Jadon Sancho off the bench to assist him and keep Chelsea with a win, even though Chelsea didn't play well. Do you know what I mean? But they end up getting a winner. And that's what's important in these moments. You grab a winner any way you can. Arsenal being Tottenham, great. As I said, Tottenham had much of the ball, but they did nothing with it. You know what I mean? As we thought they would do. But we were out without Rice. We were without Odegaard. And we still managed to come away with the result at Tottenham Hotspur's ground and win. Big boy things. Do you know what I mean? Big up to Gabriel as well. Getting that header in, getting the goal, and causing some scenes. You know what I mean? And that's what it's all about. Big him up. Wolves losing to Newcastle. Newcastle late goals. Harvey Barnes' strike. Absolute peach of a goal. Brilliant strike by Harvey Barnes. Well done to Newcastle for turning it around against Wolves to get themselves a win at Wolves. You know, Molineu's a different place to go. They're getting their win there. I don't know if it's still called Molineux, by the way. I'm just thinking it might be, but it might not. So it is what it is. But anyways, let's move on from that. Move forward. Cool. We're gonna come to to be the champion. I'm gonna whistle and come out right, but let me try again. You can't do the high pitch. It looks absolutely terrible. Anyways, all right, match day 1. Let's get onto it. Juventus versus PSG, and this game is on tomorrow. You know what I mean? At 5:45 p.m. according to this, it says. I am going to predict that Juventus are going to win this game. I think it'll be a tight one. I'm going to go with a 2-0 Juventus win. I think a goal during the mid and then the first half and then a goal in the second half. So I'm going to go for a Juventus win 2-0. Young Boys versus Aston Villa. Young Boys at home. Villa. First game in the Champions League in a long time for Villa. So, or in Europe in general. So, I mean, not in, but you know what I mean. Big boy competition, not the small little man. So, yeah. I think Villa would edge it. I back Villa to edge this one. It's going to be a tough away ground to go to, but I think a 2-1 Aston Villa I'm going to go for. Real Madrid versus VfB Stuttgart. I'm going to go for Madrid winning this one. They haven't been looking great of recently. They've been scraping late minute winners, but I still am going to go for Real Madrid winning this one. 3-1 Real Madrid. Bayern Munich versus Dinamo Zagreb. I'm going to go for Bayern Munich. 3-0 Bayern Munich. Sporting Lisbon versus Lille. Part of me thinks a draw in this one for some reason. But Gokares is down. Forgetting him, he's quality striker, isn't he? So 2-1 Sporting. 2-1 Sporting Lisbon. Milan, Liverpool, and that game is a tasty one as well. Tasty game. I'm going to go for... It's in Milan. So that is something that could change things. Liverpool need to bounce back after that shock defeat. Something tells me in Milan, I don't know. I see a draw in this one. I'm going to go 1-1. Bologna versus Shakhtar Donetsk. I'm going to go with Shakhtar. Yeah, 1-0 Shakhtar. Sparta Praha versus RB Salzburg. Yeah, 2-1 Salzburg. PSG Girona. 2-1 PSG. Club Brugge versus Dortmund. 3-1 Dortmund. Celtic versus Slavan Bratislava. Knowing Celtic, bro, this could be a draw. But they're at home. They should win this one, to be honest. 2-0 Celtic. Man City versus Inter Milan. I'm going to go for Man City winning 3-1 Man City. Zvezda, I might have said that wrong, versus Benfica. I'm going to go for Benfica. 2-1 Benfica. Feyenoord Leverkusen. I'm going to go for Leverkusen. 2-1 Leverkusen. Brest versus Sturm Graz. I'm going to go for a draw. 1-1. Atalanta versus Arsenal. This is on Thursday. It's Thursday games from Feyenoord onwards. It's Thursday. Oh, sorry. From Zvezda from Thursday onwards. I'm going to go for Arsenal. A tight 2-1 Arsenal. Atletico Madrid versus Leipzig. I'm going to go for... I see a draw in this one, to be honest. But Atletico at home could sway it. Maybe the crowds. 2-1 Atletico Madrid. Monaco, Barcelona. I'm going to go Barcelona. 3-1 Barcelona. And that's that for match day one. But what are your thoughts, guys, on match day one? You can put your comments below on that one, or you can keep it to yourself. And with that, we've come to the end. Oh, before we touch on the end, UFC 306. I was about to forget that. UFC 306. Yeah, that's bad of me. Literally, I was about to forget that. Okay, so we're just going to touch on some of the card and some of the fights. I'm forgetting the first fight of the night. I'm trying to bring it up. Hold on. Sorry. It's not coming to me. Here we go. Yes, the flyweight fight. It was an entertaining third round between the two guys. Yeah, I mean, Ronaldo Rodriguez and Ode Osborne. Very, very good battle with Ronaldo Rodriguez winning. But overall, a good throwdown between the two of them. Great battle. Daniel Zaluba, Esteban Rigobeth with the lightweight bout. As I said, Esteban Ribovic. I might have said that wrong again, but as I said, pronunciation. Excuse my pronunciation. He would have won. Yeah, I mean, as I said, third round was a big fight. I think I've confused the two. The first flyweight fight, all intense, great fight between the two. The lightweight bout. So the third round's when it kind of came to light. But overall, still a great fight. Ribovics winning, just not coming out right. But yeah, the next one, which was the featherweight, was Brian Ortega against Diego Lopez. Yeah, another solid fight, decent. Diego Lopez winning. Brian Ortega looked like he may have put it down, but Diego Lopez fought back and came back to win the fight. The women's flyweight championship was on the line, with Alexia Grasso taking on Valentina Shevchenko. Now, Shevchenko obviously wanted revenge, obviously, losing about a year ago, and she got her revenge. Putting her on the ground and dominating all 5 rounds. So brilliant, retaining and winning back her championship, Valentina Shevchenko. The bantamweight fight, which is the main event of the evening. It's time. Bantamweight main event. Sean O'Malley against Madame Devajavili. I must have said that wrong again, but yeah, that, disappointing from Sean. I'm a Sean O'Malley kind of guy, but disappointing. Well done to Merab Devajavili. He dominated, obviously, most of the rounds, so he deserves the win and wins the bantamweight championship. So big up to him. UFC 306 in total was decent, to be fair. Give it about 7.7 out of 10. So that's that from my overall thoughts on UFC and overall thoughts on the podcast in general. But what are your thoughts on UFC 306? Put your comments below on that one, or you can keep it to yourself. With that, we've come to the end of the podcast. I appreciate you guys' time and all of that. As I said, if you're feeling this episode, you know what to do below. All of them, ting them there. Big up to yourselves and keep watching, motherfuckers. Till next time, guys. Know what we usually do when we finish. Peace, love, unity, have fun, and you're either all in or clear out.